stand for something, or you most surely will fall for anything.
We support our own. If somebody is out there fighting and competing, we get behind them, and that's no different with me. They have my back like I have their back.
In this way of life, you gotta work, you gotta fight. All in together, be willing to pay the price. We fight to
Well, we're just 2 weeks away. No turning back now. Conor McGregor held a public workout in Vegas Friday, and it was a spectacle. We got to see everything. All the in McGregor's bag, his hands, the ways he's been able to become a star in the sport, even a little of the stuff we need to beep out half the time. You saw it earlier on SportsCenter. The best moments of the day.
Believe in your dreams, believe you and me, don't let go. Let's go. We're living it up, having a good time, baby.
It's okay to love me as much as I love me. It's okay.
What Teddy and I are watching right now is an amateur boxer getting ready to take on the best of all time. But the intangibles do matter.
To me, it almost looks choreographed. To me, it looks like he's being careful to make sure the people watching us see what he wants us to see.
This is people doubting me, questioning my skill set, talking as if I'm a novice, talking as if I haven't been doing this my entire life. I've been fighting since day one, and I'm the best there is. So I can fight in many forms.
Is Conor moving his feet? Is Conor following the basics? Are his hands up and his chin down? I like where his hands are at. I don't like where his chin is at.
I agree with him. His chin is up like a lantern in a storm.
Part of his mentality here is me against the world. I'm a superstar.
I look good everywhere. I look good in the gym, and I look good under the lights. In fact, I look better under the lights. You can't prepare for me. You can't prepare for me. I'm going to knock him out bad. I mean, he's too small. I know he's fast. I know he's got good reflexes. I know he's experienced. I don't care.
Same boring.
I hit you, you fall, and that's it.
I'm sorry. No shot.
The only reason I'll maybe give him 2 rounds is because in this game, the referee stops me from pounding his head into the canvas.
It will be unusual to everyone watching and to Floyd, of course, but that's not my problem.
In the meantime, UFC sent us videos of Conor McGregor sparring with Paulie Malignaggi last week. Malignaggi, a former champion. In one of the videos, you can see Paulie wore a couple of left hands there. In another video sent by the UFC, Malignaggi goes down to the mat. That's the video where there's a bone of contention. Who knows? We'll find out in 2 weeks. All right, that was Conor McGregor on the fight. Brett Okamoto joins us now from Vegas. Brett, you spoke with Conor late Friday night, and he had some strong comments about accusations of racism. What did he tell you?
Yeah, well, I think everybody remembers that World Press Tour, where they stopped in 4 stops, and it was a big hit for the most part. Everybody enjoyed it. If there was one misstep by Conor McGregor, it was that something to the effect of monkeys, referring to Floyd Mayweather, perhaps some members of his camp. Floyd, that's something he's seized on. Stephen A. Smith was with Floyd Mayweather earlier this week, and Mayweather went so far as to say that McGregor crossed the line, that this fight was now about race, and that this fight was for all the blacks in the world, is what Floyd Mayweather said. So I asked McGregor to address what Floyd's comments were today when I spoke to him.
He knows there's no racism from me. His father knows. Ellerby knows. Ask these people. He said I labeled him a monkey. I never once in my life labeled him or any African American a monkey, and it annoys me that he's even bringing this type of stuff up. If I was to, like I said, if I was to label him after any animal, it would be the rat or the weasel. Because that's a rat and a weasel move, trying to manipulate someone's words and try and create something that's not even there, and such a sensitive subject. I mean, he's a man that beats his wife in front of his kid. He is the dirt of the dirt. So to even bring that up and try and engage in that, it's like, you know what? That shows me your true colors.
So you can see from that clip how engaged that answer was. It truly means a lot to him. And what he told me was, I think that's it. There's not much else I can say, but it was obvious that it meant something to him. He said he apologized, and he said that it was a misstep. There was a stop in Brooklyn where he tried to make light of it, tried to make a joke of it. He said he probably shouldn't have done that, and he hopes that it's over now.
He will stand by a rat in the dirt of the dirt. Strong stuff from Conor McGregor. That's Brett Okamoto with us here tonight on SportsCenter. We're still 2 weeks away from the fight, but according to Vegas, McGregor has been gaining ground on Floyd. Check this out. Westgate's opening odds had Mayweather at minus 2,500. By June 12th, that had dropped to minus 1,100. Friday, the money line fell to minus 750 for Mayweather, plus 525 for McGregor.
All right, we found some brotherly love in the NFL preseason game between the Steelers and Giants. T.J. Watt, the 30th overall pick in the draft by the Steelers. First quarter, Steelers on defense. Okay, do I have to tell you who his brother is? Keep an eye on Watt, and he comes around the right end and sacks Josh Johnson, who started the game for the Giants. No Eli in this one. And why would he play with that offensive line? Watt fights through the block and gets to Johnson. First NFL sack for T.J. Watt. Later in the first, Watt back at it on defense, and oh, shocking, unblocked by the Giants' offensive line. Gets to Johnson for his second sack of the game. I laugh, but it's a serious situation for Giants and their fans. TJ's older brother, JJ, tweeting out the eyes emoji, checking out TJ's play. And, you know, they're very similar, their styles. Good first impression for TJ Watt. 5 tackles, 2 sacks. Steelers win 20-12. So TJ Watt making his presence felt real quick for the Steel Curtain, logging a pair of sacks in his first preseason game. Surprisingly, Watt only had one game during his entire Wisconsin career where he logged at least 2 full sacks. And we're talking about a guy who led the Big Ten in sacks last season. So far, so good. Speaking of the NFL preseason, many players looking to make that great first impression. In that Chiefs-49ers game, Chiefs moved up from that 27th spot to the 10th overall to pick Patrick Mahomes. Remember? Chiefs down 9-7, Mahomes. DeMarcus Robinson, that's a 41-yard gain. But there was a holding call on offense. So Mahomes does a nice job, though, breaking down the defense here. When Mahomes drops back, he looks left, making the single safety shade over to that side, just enough so when Mahomes makes that throw, Robinson's got a ton of space in front of him. Third quarter, Chiefs up by 1, second and goal, Mahomes. The throw to Gavin Escobar, incomplete. What happened? Well, he did a nice job on this play, putting the ball where only his receiver can get it, but the ball bounces off Escobar's hands. Defensive pass interference called, so the Chiefs get a new set of downs. 2 plays later, Mahomes fakes it, rolls it, buys some time, and finds Marcus Kemp wide open for the touchdown. Great decision-making there. Nobody panicked there. Patrick Mahomes, great job. And then when we flip the field, you can see he has multiple defenders waiting to see if he's going to run, which left Kemp wide open. And Mahomes put the ball in a great spot. Mahomes 7-9, 49 yards and a touchdown. Chiefs would lose 27-17. Another guy looking to make a first impression, how about Joe Mixon? You know, the controversy off the field. Making his debut for the Bengals, hosting Tampa Bay. Cincy down 3-0 in the second. A.J. McCarron faking the handoff to Mixon before dumping it back to him. Open field, great play. This kid's got talent, and this is what he can do. Makes one man miss, sidesteps another, and finally breaks one more tackle before going down. Mixon doing it on the ground as well. I mean, look at the guy, just does it. Picks up yardage anywhere he can get it, finds holes. Here's one of them. That's an 8-yard gain before he was brought down. Very next play, showing off the vision and his burst of speed. Joe Mixon, 13-yard gain there. 42 all-purpose yards, 31 on the ground, coming on 6 carries for Joe Mixon. Now, our first standing O this morning goes to Tampa Bay starting quarterback Jameis Winston. Buccaneers, sexy pick to upgrade and make a big step this year in the NFL, led by Winston. And he got some help from Mike Evans. First play of the game, Winston rolling out under pressure from his own end zone, finds Evans, first down. And those two are just getting started later in the drive. Winston dropping back, Bengals pressure. Winston, perfect ball he delivered to Evans. 29-yard pickup down the sideline. Take another look. Winston and Evans, you saw it. They were clicking early and they weren't done. 3rd and 8, Winston, mobility, showing it off, avoiding pressure, finding Evans, another first down. Another look for you. 9 of 13 for 99 yards for Winston, 58 those to Evans. The Buccaneers fall.
This just in, Ezekiel Elliott has been suspended for the first 6 games of the season.
Basically, NFL sending a message no one is above the shield. This is devastating to the offense of this football team.
The evidence, obviously, that the NFL compiled was something that they felt very strongly in.
Even the Cowboys thought if there were discipline, it would not be this severe. That's why they're so upset in the organization right now.
This is a bombshell.
Yeah, 6-game suspension against the Cowboys running back announced Friday afternoon. Several hours later, Elliott said he will appeal. He also released this statement via Twitter. I am both surprised and disappointed by the NFL's decision today, and I strongly disagree with the league's findings. He went on to say, I recognize the distraction and disruption that all of this has caused my family, friends, teammates, the Dallas Cowboys organization, as well as my fans. For that, I am sincerely sorry. I admit that I am far from perfect, but I plan to continue to work very hard on and off the field to mature and earn the great opportunity that I have been given. Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott dealt a 6-game suspension, not paid, violating the league's personal conduct policy. He had one of the most prolific rookie campaigns last year, rushed for over 1,600 yards, third most by a rookie in NFL history, behind Eric Dickerson and George Rogers. And the suspensions continue to mount up, oh, by the way, for Dallas since the start of 2014, as it has lost 104 man games due to suspension over that stretch, including suspensions that have yet to be served. Easily the most by any team in the NFL. We welcome in Cowboys reporter Todd Archer this morning as the team plays its second preseason game tonight in L.A. against the Rams. And Todd, what's been the reaction from those around the Cowboys organization to the Elliott suspension?
Yeah, Linda, I'm told that Jerry Jones is extremely upset over this decision. Did not see it coming. We heard him say countless times to us, even last week at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, that he didn't anticipate a suspension, that he didn't think this had anything to do with domestic violence. And I think from a player's perspective, they were kind of going off of what Jerry Jones was saying publicly, so they were surprised and caught off guard by such a long suspension. And, you know, players will adapt and be able to move on and compartmentalize things, but clearly they know not having their leading rusher for so long will affect them greatly on the field before the season even starts. Absolutely. Tough schedule early on for the Cowboys. Now, if this suspension is upheld, what is the Cowboys' plan to replace Elliott for up to 6 weeks? This is where they feel good about their depth. Now, none of these guys can do what Ezekiel Elliott did, but I think you'll see them perhaps go to a running back by committee approach. They have Darren McFadden, Alfred Morris, Rod Smith. All three of those guys have had good moments at different times in training camp, and I think it's important to remember this with Darren McFadden. In 2015, he was the NFL's 4th leading rusher, and he didn't take over as the leading back until week 7 of that season. So when you still have an offensive line with 3 All-Pros and Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, and Travis Frederick, the Cowboys believe they'll still be able to run the ball. As explosive as they were with Elliott, probably not, but still good enough to help Dak Prescott in this offense score enough points to win some games without Elliott. Much more on this story, of course. It's a developing one. And the Cowboys with our Todd Archer coming up next hour on SportsCenter. Get a load of this. Unbelievable. This is how Conor McGregor showed up for a workout. Green Lamborghini.
If I was to, like I said, if I was to label him after any animal, it would be the rat or the weasel.
I'll tell you, I can't believe it. Well, I believe anything that Conor McGregor does at this point, including showing up for a workout yesterday in this. I don't know what you drive to your workout, but I'm sure it wasn't a green Lamborghini. He does everything in style and flash. Not everybody agrees with his actions or what he says, and he's been saying a lot lately in response to the guy he's fighting, Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, it's a mega spectacle, and yeah, believe it or not, it is 2 weeks away, and the barbs have flown since the announcement. There has been no shortage of insults on either side. And on Thursday, Mayweather said he felt disrespected for comments McGregor made. Yesterday, McGregor responded in his own defense.
He knows there's no racism from me. His father knows. Ellerby knows. Ask these people. He said I labeled him a monkey. I never once in my life labeled him or any African American a monkey and a annoys me that he's even bringing this type of stuff up. It's if I was to, like I said, if I was to label him after any animal, it would be the rat or the weasel. Because that's a rat and a weasel move, trying to manipulate someone's words and try and create something that's not even there, and such a sensitive subject. I mean, he's a man that beats his wife in front of his kid. He is the dirt of the dirt. So to even bring that up and try and engage in that, it's like, you know what? That shows me your true colours.
Obviously, McGregor not backing down against Mayweather, even verbally. Lots of back and forth between these two from their promotional tour right up until yesterday, which you just heard. McGregor got some vindication after the UFC released this video. That is right. UFC sent us videos of McGregor sparring with Paulie Malignaggi last week. In one of the videos, you can see McGregor roughing him up. In another video sent by UFC, Malignaggi goes down to the mat. He and McGregor's camp have disagreed over that fall, so much so that Malignaggi quit as one of McGregor's sparring partners. McGregor's camp said it was a knockdown. Malignaggi says he was